Hey everyone, it's Christos here, aka the Frag, and say hello to my little friend. This is the last living beetle. There's no more beetles after this. That's it. Once this beetle goes, no more beetles. So I'll just put them there, and they can watch me do this review. So before I get started, hit like, hit subscribe. I'm always posting videos, and I do so for the love of music, playing music, and also consumer advice in terms of giving just my ideas, and that's all it is, to hopefully give you some insight if you are looking at buying an instrument or doing something to an instrument or anything like that. So this channel is really dedicated for the love of listening to music, playing to music, and anything else in between. So if you want to leave any comments, do so. Please do so respectfully. And today what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish off the review of the upgrade of my Fender Player Series Stratocaster. Now I bought this about a couple of months ago, and I've just been slowly doing it up, and today I pretty much finished. And what this is this is a Fender Player Series made in Mexico Stratocaster. Now I know just recently Fender released the new Player Plus series, but you know, we weren't to know these things. So what I'll do is I'll start off with some of the work that I've done and since finished off. I've installed Jim Dunlop strap holders. I didn't actually buy the locking unit because I just wanted the strap holders as they're actually wider than the standard strap holders that come with these guitars. I've installed Gotoh made in Japan stainless steel modern bridge saddles as opposed to the vintage bent steel saddles of the original Player Series that came with this guitar. And also the grub screws I found on the vintage saddles, they really dig into your palm. I've installed a bridge and a neck Seymour Duncan Hotrails pickups, and they're really good, really powerful, but also clear and articulate. And also I've installed a Obsidian Wire solderless kit. Now, what the Obsidian Wire solderless kit looks like is like this. This is I've ordered some other pickups, but this is going in my other Player Series that you've probably seen. It's a buttercream with the black scratch plate as a HSH configuration. So you've got you know your usual 5-way switch, volume, tone, but here this is the heart of this whole unit. These things here, you press down, they're spring loaded, and then they open up the gap in here which you can insert your wire, whether it's the pickup wire, whether it's ground wires for the tremolo, the bridge, the tremolo, the body cavity, the output jack, and so forth. And there's a little screw here, that housing that you unscrew, and if there's any leftover ground wires that can't go in here, you can just put them all in there as one wire. Really good. The best thing about it is it's solderless, so you don't have to actually breathe in noxious fumes when soldering, which includes lead and God knows whatever else. But I've used them in my Fender Player Precision bass and completely recommend it. I've got it now in here, and I'm looking forward to when I get my Seymour Duncan Invader pickups for my buttercream guitar. I'll install them and I'll do another review on that. When I did buy this guitar, I always wanted a white Fender Strat, and the frets weren't very well polished, and some of them were actually very high. So what I did was I bought myself a fret rocker, which you can place on 3 frets at a time. And let's say, if I'm over exaggerating here, if one's too high, the fret rocker will rock. And I was getting a lot of string buzzing at the time, especially around sort of this area. So what happened, I found, was the 10th, 11th, the 10th, 11th, and the 14th fret were sitting very proud. And I got myself a bit of a fret file, and I went through and just lowered, sanded the frets, the affected frets, and now it plays much better. And then once I finished that, I had already some fret erasers, and what I do is these are much more finer than the inside teeth, I don't know if you can see, or the grooves of the fret file. But then what I do is I put a fret guard on top, and then I start with the most coarse rubber. There's about 5 of them, but I'm just showing you a couple here. and work my way from the most coarse to the most smooth, and then it just gets a nice mirror finish on your pickups. And since then, there is a little bit of fret buzz, but nowhere near what was happening when I first bought it. So it plays really, really nice now. I did mention about the Seymour Duncan Hotrails and the Obsidian Wire piece. What I've also done is I've installed Fender original locking tuners. Really, really good. These are 18:1 ratio. So what it means is that every time you turn the machine head 18 times, the string post turns once. So the higher the ratio, the less this is turning, which means you get really good fine tuning, as opposed to 12:1. Every time you turn this machine head 12 times, the string post will turn once. So that means you turn this less, and this is actually turning more. So it's a bit harder to get a fine tuning. I've also installed a Graphtec string tree, and just today I installed a Graphtec Tusq XL, and these particular nuts are designed specifically for Fender Strats and Tellies, and they are manufactured with Teflon. And the nut that I bought when I bought this guitar, it was very coarse. When I was tuning, the strings were bouncing because they were getting caught inside the slots, and I even had to put like graphite from a lead pencil and Vaseline, and it was still causing me issues. Eventually I got some nut files, and it probably made the matter worse, and I thought, you know what, let me just rip it out and install a new one. And what I recommend is use a soft hammer and a bit of a piece of wood just to knock it from the back, knock it from the front, but make sure you get an arts and crafts knife first of all, and just cut around it, sort of slice around it to get rid of any glues or adhesives, and also to the side as well. And in the end, I just sort of tapped it out, and there was no glue, and it was a nice finish inside. And then I just put a bit of sandpaper on the 3rd fret and just started sanding it down so it would have the contour of the actual neck, because inside the groove here where the nut sits, it's not flat, it's actually curved, just like the same curvature of the radius of the fretboard. And overall now, you know, really sounds nice. I've noticed that the tone of the nut has added, or sorry, the material of the nut has added a lot more vibrancy, life and tone into the guitar. So I'm really looking forward to playing it. And you know, I was lucky, I got this for about $900. Yes, I have spent good money in terms of, you know, the Obsidian Wire kit, the pickups, the bridge saddles, the locking tuners, and the Graphtec accessories. But you know what? It's been a labour of love, and it's also improved my competency on working with guitars, from, you know, fret filing, fret polishing, installing electronics, to, you know, anything else. It's really been a labour of love. So, you know, if you're at that level where you want to start doing some work to your guitar, and it's not something like you're doing a complete fret redress or complete fret dress or something, you know, it's really hardcore, even pulling the frets out and putting new ones in, if you're that advanced, that is. Something like what I've done and what I've described is really good in terms of building your confidence. And not only that, it will save you a lot of money. You know, taking this to guitar repair shops just to do some of the work that I've done with frets probably could have cost me a couple $100. And you know, to do it myself is not only gratifying, but it's also cost effective. So now it's just really, you know, looking forward to playing this beautiful guitar and having fun with it. And you know, I think I'm sort of going to go down that path for the foreseeable future, where I buy not so expensive guitars and I can actually work on them. So yeah, that's really it. I mean, overall, I've been happy with the guitar. You know, I could have gone down the path of a custom shop or an American-made guitar that are thousands and thousands of dollars. But something like this, it's, you know, it serves its purpose, and it's, let's face it, I'm not going to go ahead and form the next Van Halen or anything like that. So I'm just playing in my own home and playing along to my favorite music. So the beauty about guitars, like especially a Fender Stratocaster, is it allows you to because it's such a very popular selling guitar, a lot of aftermarket componentry are actually designed around the Fender. Like for example, you know, the nut here, the Graphtec nut is designed to really fit a Fender Stratocaster or a Telecaster. So that's one advantage that you have in terms of buying a guitar like this. You know, the aftermarket componentry is available and it's designed for this specific guitar. Like for example, the bridge saddles, the Gotoh made in Japan bridge saddles fit the width of the neck perfectly. So, you know, it's not like the strings really to the edge or very, very far in. It actually fits very, very well. And like I said, you know, it really resonates, really sounds nice. So, but what I've done is I haven't actually glued the nut in yet. It is a very snug fit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you know, sort of play through a few sets of strings, and then what I might do is I might remove it and, you know, file it down a bit further. As I mentioned, just putting a piece of sandpaper here and just filing it on the 3rd fret to match the contour of the fretboard. And, you know, if I think it's too high, I might take it out and sand it down. And then when I'm finally happy with it, then I'd probably put just a tiny little dab of Gorilla Glue or wood glue. I probably wouldn't recommend super glue because super glue is probably a bit too strong. But just a tiny dab, so that way it keeps it in place. But if you have to ever remove it, it's not going to be so difficult to do so. So other than that, yeah, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy these videos. And as I said, please subscribe, hit like, and yeah, keep rocking, keep learning, and you know, keep safe and stay positive during these difficult times. Thank you.